Hey everybody, welcome to the Mustang Coaches Show. I'm your host, voice of the Broncos, Kerry Shuck, with the head coach of the Mustang Broncos, Lee Blankenship. Coach, how are you?
Good to be back, Kerry.
This is
great, man.
Exciting show. Coming off of a game, Tulsa Union, one of the powerhouses for the last 20, 30 years. I mean, just a really tough place to play, tough team, but you guys go in and you get a victory.
Good group of kids, man. Maybe the I would almost say with certainty the most athletic team, the biggest team, the strongest team we played this season. Really good football program, as you mentioned. You know, they're got a lot of tradition, but listen, the week leading into the game, we really tried to not make it about them or about that, and we just kind of went about things in the way that we always do. We want to be the best us we can be on Monday and the best us we can be on Tuesday, and our opponents are not some other kids from another school each week. It's ourselves, and trying to be the best us that we can be, and we really approach it just like we have every other week. And our kids went out and played really well. I was really excited for them, really proud of them.
I think, and you've said this the last few weeks when you talk about just worrying about yourselves.
Yeah.
And a lot of times fans can't get past who the other teams play or who you're going to play or anything like that. But I've seen it week to week that it's like if there's a mistake, forget about that. We're going to make the next play. And you can kind of just see it in how the kids are. And then going there, they probably just thought, like, we just do what we're supposed to do, and we'll handle ourselves.
Listen, we did not just play great football the whole game. There were plenty of mistakes made on both sides, and our kids just were able to overcome their mistakes. And we tell them all the time, don't let the mistake define you. And that's not just in football. That's in every area of your life and at school and your family and the community. If we're going to make mistakes, we're human. Our coaches make mistakes all the time, and in the way that we call the game or things that we do, but don't let your mistake be how people see you. Let what you do right after that mistake. And our kids did such a great job of just playing the next play and staying in the game, and they really played with a ton of confidence and got the W at the end. It was awesome to get the win.
Well, we'll talk about offense here in just a second, but first play of the game, fumbled snap, defense gets on the board quick, and like you had said off air, I mean, that just kind of lifts the team.
Yeah, absolutely. It gave our kids a lot of confidence right off the bat. Colton Humphrey was the one that picked that up and scooped that ball up and took it 20 yards to the end zone. Was awesome. Our defense really just played an incredible game. The first half, we went into the locker room with a 10-0 lead. Defense really played well, and then continued to just make big plays for us the rest of the game. Right, leading in the fourth quarter, leading into the final drive that our offense was able to throw a great ball and win the game with. Our defense, they gave up a first down. The clock was winding down. It really looked like we could, they could get another first down, and we could have hung our heads and said, well, it's Union, and had a bunch of excuses and quit playing as hard. But our kids just continued to stay in the fight. They battled. Eddie Granados came up huge with a huge fumble recovery, and it gave the ball back to our offense, and then our offense was able to drive down and score right at the end, which was pretty awesome. But it just goes back to, it's not about Union. Those bleachers, they got really nice bleachers, the end zone facility, the Jumbotron, everything's really nice there, and that's just a testament to their commitment to athletics and what they want to do, and their tradition inside of their football program. But that Jumbotron can't win the game for you. Here the kids have to win it, and our kids just played their best, and their best was good enough that night. So really proud of them. Defense played phenomenal.
And you were talking about off the air, but the coaches, Coach Dollar and the schemes and everything that they had, that just really played a great game.
Yeah, Coach Dollar, he sent me the stat actually this morning, and I've got to mention this. Just phenomenal game plan by them. We dropped into coverage. We dropped 3 at one time, 4 at one time, 5 at one time, 6 at one time, 7, and even 8 at one time. And then he sent me the stats on it. And with those dropping into coverage and the guys in the box, some of them were zone blitzes, some of them were combination coverages. Sometimes we played played. Man, the looks that our defense gave the Union offense, their quarterbacks and their offensive coordinator, even we did not sit in the same thing. We gave them a ton of different looks and different blitzes, and it really was a great game plan by those guys. I'm just ecstatic to have Coach Dollar and his staff and the hard work that they give up to our program and to our kids and community.
Well, and it's a testament to them, because a lot of times when you think, you got high school kids, to think that everything you have to put into something like that to get where an offense is going to see so many looks, the kids have to be focused, and the coaches have to make sure that they're focused and ready for Friday.
Without question. Our one of the things that we talked about with our kids, and just talking about focus and drive, and and in my pregame speech, sometimes I say things I don't even know what's gonna come out, and right before the game, but just try to just to say what's on my heart and my mind. But as we drove into Tulsa, we saw we passed their mall and, the big buildings and right there on 71st Street when you're pulling into the stadium. I mean, it's just a huge, bustling place. And I just told our kids, listen, we on our away jerseys, it says Mustang on the back. And that's just to remind us that we represent our city. It's not about me. It's not about you. It's about Mustang. It's about our school and our community. And we talked about what Mustang has when you drive into there. And really our school district is the hub of our community here, and that's something that I take a lot of pride in, and I want our kids to understand that when we play people, the buzz and the energy and the excitement, what we can give to our community just in winning a silly game, winning a football game, man, is really incredible. Just the platform that they have, and our theme was just to play for Mustang that night. It's not about Union, it's not about you, it's about our community, it's about our school district, and our kids really just sold out to that and went and played hard, and it was really special to get a win for Mustang. I think it was the 300th win, from what I understand in school history.
Yeah.
Pretty awesome. My third win, so I'll take it.
So you're third on your way to 300. There we go.
There you go.
I can tell you, going to church on Sunday, of course, everyone's a huge Mustang fan of Mustang, so they were just over the moon, just talking about how the kids played and everything, and just really excited about it. I do want to touch on, I thought Hayden Conrad and the Northern North game, some receivers had some key drops where he made some good plays, and then overthrew a couple times. But this game, it seemed like he was dialed in, especially that game-winning touchdown.
Listen, Hayden is just a great example of a kid that does things the right way, and goes back to that attitude and effort thing. Hayden has had some throws that have been great balls that have been dropped. We've put him in tough situations in some of the games, just with penalties and long down and distances where we're forced to throw the ball, and everybody in the stadium knows we're gonna throw the ball, and man, he just continues to come back and play the next play, and I was so thrilled for him. The throw that he made, to Chris Duran right there at the end. There were 15 seconds left on the clock. You talk about a clutch, just ice water in your veins to go and make that throw to win the football game was huge for us. And then you got to talk about Chris Duran as well, man. Chris, phenomenal route. He's one of our captains, one of the best leaders on our team. He's a guy that does everything right. After practice, when everybody else is leaving, just stay around the locker room. You'll see Chris Duran with a broom in his hand, and he's sweeping or cleaning up, and just really a servant leader. Loves his teammates, and for him to be able to be the guy that made that play and the route that he ran to get, how open he was actually phenomenal. He ran a little stutter and go. The corner broke on it. They thought we were going to try to just get a first down at the sticks, and he blew the top off the coverage and won the game for us. It's pretty awesome.
Well, and going back to that play, and I kind of look at everything that breaks down. I can't remember the receiver that was breaking toward the middle of the end zone, but you can see some guys kind of drift, and then it leaves Chris just in that corner, and that's a hard throw.
No question. That was Andre Dollar who was lined up inside in the slot inside of Chris, and Andre had a good night. He made some big catches. He had a huge fourth down catch for us. We decided to go for it on about 4th and 5, and he caught the ball in traffic, and that actually extended our drive, which led to a Harvey Phillips touchdown. So we knew that he had a good night. Those safeties were really lining up over the top of him and respecting him, and it left Chris with one-on-one coverage with the corner, and Chris won the play. So really just thrilled for all of those kids.
So when you're coming in there, 15 seconds left on the clock, how do we make that call of that's going to be the play? Is that kind of dialed in that you're thinking like this has worked before and I kind of want to see how this?
Honestly, it's just kind of a feel thing in that situation. We're looking at the coverage. Coach McDaniel and our offensive staff have great communication. I can hear them in my headset, and they thought they had it on the end. Coach McDaniel dialed it up, man, and it was the right call. We ran the ball early. There was about a minute and a half left, and I know we had some people wondering why we were running the ball, but Union I thought Union got in their prevent a little bit early. They really backed those safeties up, and they gave us a box to run. We had 2 timeouts, so we went ahead and ran and really ate up some good yardage to get us down into that area where we could take that shot and get the ball in the end zone. So just a great job by Coach McDaniel and our offensive staff in managing the clock and putting our kids in the best situation to be successful and win the ball game.
Yeah, I will say it's great on both the coaches and the players is when you see them go into the prevent defense and we can eat up 10, 12 yards right here and just kind of get us in that position to where we can make one of those throws.
Yeah.
That's really good to think
about. That absolutely. And they actually, once we started running the football, they actually scooted up a little bit more, which opened up us being able to work over the top. So great job again by Coach McDaniel. I'm so thrilled for our coaching staff. Our coaches work so hard. Our kids work so hard. We had a disappointment on the scoreboard the week before, and our message has just been consistent. Just attitude and effort. Play the next play. Be the best that you can be on every down, and we're going to have a shot in every game. So our kids really came out and responded to a tough loss the week before by doing something really special for our community the next week. So I think our kids are really believing in our message. If we can just clean up some fixable things, we still had a couple of penalties, a few misalignments that hurt us in the game, but we have a chance. We can compete with anybody in the state of Oklahoma when we play good football and play with great attitude and great effort the whole game.
No, definitely.
Yep.
So best plays, I think we kind of went over them and everything, kind of the start of the game, and then to the end, outstanding athletes. Who'd you give the helmet to?
Man, Braden Jarman really stuck out to me, especially there in that first half. He was all over the field early, pressuring the quarterback, had some big-time tackles. Liam Kravonik on the defensive side had a huge interception for us. And Liam, it feels like every week I talk about Liam, man. Liam is just so intelligent, so smart, such a tough kid. He runs the football. It plays so hard. He just puts himself in the position to be around the ball and make a ton of tackles, and he sure did that on Friday night. Anthony Gescheidel came in on the defensive line and actually got the start for us due to some injury and really played well in the whole football game. Another young man, Christian Rowland at defensive line, got a lot more snaps than he has the previous first few weeks, and really played at a high level. Was excited for those guys. On the defense side, Judson Rowland had a great game as well. So I mean, our kids are just stepping up, and when their number's called, they're ready to get in there and make plays and play hard, and I think they're playing with a lot of confidence. We tell them all the time, it's okay to make a mistake in our program. It's okay to mess up. We're not going to yell and scream at you. We're going to correct you and do our best to get you prepared for the next rep, but it's just play the next play and make up for it on the next play. Do your very best. Do your 1/11th is what we call it on the defensive side of the ball, and they did that on Friday night. Offensively, I think we talked about a lot of the guys. Kari Brown had a big night. Harvey Phillips had a huge touchdown run there in the fourth quarter that actually gave us the lead, and then Union responded, and then Hayden and Chris came down and made the play of the game there at the end. But just it's fun to be able to get on the show and talk about a lot of kids and that were playing well, and again, just thrilled for those guys.
Yeah, their players are really stepping up, and you start to say the same names, but then you get some other sprinkles in, like now those players are starting to step up too.
Absolutely. They, guys have been just been working and waiting for their opportunity, and we have several young men in our program that have just been continued to do the right things over and over and over again. And our message to our team has been don't grow weary in doing good. In due time you'll reap a harvest. But it's if you don't give up is the last part of that saying. It's actually one of my favorite Bible verses. It's in the book of Galatians, but our kids have just continue to do what's right, and they're not growing weary. And then we're starting to see several of them get their opportunities, and they're starting to see the harvest from that. So that's exciting for me, just to see what we've been preaching and teaching and trying to get our kids to buy into, coming to be. So pretty special.
Yeah, you can definitely see it. Now, you kind of touched on some of the penalties and everything. Big struggles, things to work on. I mean, I'm sure.
I'll tell you what. Our offensive line, I've got to go back and give them a huge shout out as well. Probably the best D line we faced this season, and our guys fought their tails off, man. We really eliminated the holding call this week and did some great things. Got a lot of push. We were able to run the football well on Friday night. So just some silly things. We had a 4th and 1 that we got a false start on because one of our receivers wasn't set, and just little things like that drive you crazy as a coach. If we can fix still a couple of key drops in the game, Hayden putting the ball on the money, and we've got to come in with those footballs, especially when we're playing a really good opponents and in game situations throughout the rest of the course of this district play. We've got to take advantage of every opportunity that we get. So listen, it's okay to mess up in our program. We just got to come and continue to work and get better the next week.
Yeah, we've said this before. 6A1 is tough. I mean, there's no week off.
No question.
Yeah, so those little things, like once they are hammered out, I mean, that's definitely helps.
Anybody in our district can beat you, and on any given night, and that's why we play the game, and that's why we've got to go out with a great focus and have a great week of preparation leading up to the game. So hopefully we'll have another great week this week.
All right, Coach, we're going to take our first break. We got This Week in Sports coming up here on the break, and we'll come back and talk about our next opponent, Southmoore, when we come back. We'll see you after this.
Hey Mustang, I'm Jamie.
And I'm Ashlyn. Welcome to This Week in Sports. Thursday, October 3rd, volleyball had their pink out night against UConn. Before the varsity game, Special Olympics had a chance to play as well. They tried hard but came out with a loss. Lorenzo got an interview with Jose Serrano, and along with Ciale going out and getting an interview with Ruby Kelly.
Hey guys, I'm here with
Jose Serrano.
And Jose just did have a volleyball game. How do you feel about that?
I feel really good, about playing volleyball with my other teammates, and also like one of my closest best friends ever.
That's fun. So what was one thing you enjoyed about today?
What I enjoyed about today is learning new stuff about volleyball and everything, and being like a great teammate and being a team leader for my whole team. And this team means a lot to me.
I understand. Jose, you played great today. Once again, I'm Lorenzo Darty. Back to you guys.
Hi guys, I'm here with
Ruby Kelly.
We played UConn tonight. You guys did wonderful. You guys also won. What made you guys so dominant tonight?
Well, we had a couple hiccups, but we really picked it up and worked on our offensive side and helped each other out mentally, and we picked it up at the end. We had a couple bad starts at the beginning, but we picked it up at the end.
Yes, I loved it. I love watching you guys. Thank you. What are your improvements for next game?
Even though I said we did pick up our mental side, I think we should work on that way more. We kind of get down on ourselves, but we help each other out a lot and push each other to our limits.
Thank you so much. This is Ciale. I'm here with Ruby. Back to you.
This weekend, our cross-country teams competed at the state qualifier meet in Arkansas. The girls' team placed state overall with the leading runner, Lakin Webb, finishing 5th. The boys' team finished first with Gabe Simonson winning the meet. Congratulations to both teams for their great races.
This week, varsity softball had their senior night against UConn after the devastating loss, bringing them 16-6 on the season. We sent Lorenzo to get an interview with Michaela Harcrow.
Hi guys, I'm at the softball game and I am here with
Michaela Harcrow.
Michaela Harcrow. It was senior night tonight and you are a senior. How does it feel being with this last home game, and what are your thoughts on that?
Well, it was a very tough and very, very competitive game. UConn came with a lot of fire and we just didn't have enough fire to bring back, so that's...
Yeah, and with you being a senior, and I know there's a lot of underclassmen and future girls wanting to be a softball player, especially from Mustang. Is there any advice you would give for them becoming a softball player?
Yeah, just keep a good heart and focus hard, work hard, keep a good mindset and stay focused and stay positive, and you'll get right through it.
Yeah, that's it. Back to you guys.
Friday night, the football team played Union at their home stadium and came out with a win of 23-21. It was a close game with a lot of stress on the backs of the Broncos, but they pulled through. Great job, guys.
The Broncos had their first away district game of the season at Tulsa Union, which just came off a 24-point loss to Owasso. The game started out as the Broncos recovered a fumble and scored a touchdown. The Broncos controlled the first half as we went into the half leading 10-0. The Redskins quarterback had a big game rushing as he scored 2 rushing touchdowns. The Broncos didn't really get the rushing game going until the fourth quarter as Kari Brown had some nice runs. Hayden Conrad threw the game-winning touchdown pass with 17 seconds left in the game. The final score was Mustang 23, Union 21. The Broncos got their first win at Tulsa Union in school history and got the football program's 300th win.
Here's a look at Player of the Week. I went out and got an interview with JoJo Sylvester.
Hi, I'm Ashlyn Stewart, and I'm here with our Player of the Week, JoJo Sylvester. How does it feel to know that you're the outstanding Player of the Week?
It kind of took me by surprise. I had a decent game. I'm sure there was people who played better than me, but, I mean, I'm getting recognition at least.
What training have you gone through to get here?
I mean, every week we have our practices. We go hard. We have lifting twice a week on Sunday and Tuesday, and then on Mondays we have film in the mornings. Like today we were up at the school at 6 a.m. to watch film until about 8:30. So.
And who's your biggest supporter?
My biggest supporter is definitely my grandma, and then just my mom's side of the family. They're always at every single game and always supporting me. So.
Once again, I'm Ashlyn Stewart. Back to you.
Once again, I'm Ashlyn.
And I'm Jamie. And we'll see you next time on This Week in Sports.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Mustang Coaches Show. I'm the voice of the Broncos, Kerry Shuck, here with head coach Lee Blankenship. Coach, let's go ahead and talk about it. Don't get a week off. Southmore's coming in.
Absolutely. Southmore's is a good football program, traditionally a good football program that we're going to see this year. They're coming in. They've had a tough early schedule. It's a team that is still looking for their first win, but we've played one of those this year already, and hopefully we learned a good lesson in that football game earlier in the year. Got some guys that are special to our community, to our football program that are coming in that are on the staff there at Southmoore. A lot of former Mustang Bronco coaches that are over there now. So I know our kids are excited to see those guys, and we're excited to welcome them back to Mustang for sure. They've got a great quarterback, throws the ball really well. Their running back is an excellent player. I think he does a great job, runs hard, very athletic defensive line, and very athletic in their secondary. So we've definitely got our hands full this week. My message to our kids is keep your eyes forward. Don't let what we've done yesterday impact what we're going to do tomorrow. We've got to continue to just play the next play. That goes for after a good play as well. Mm-hmm. Can't dwell on what happened last week. We've got to have a great week of preparation to be prepared to go out and play against a good Southmoore team.
Especially just like you had said, I think Norman North if you just handed me a paper when they were 0-3, I'd be like, oh, it's an 0-3 team.
Yeah.
Really come in. But then once you see them and you see how they run their offense, you're thinking, how are they 0-3?
No
and
question.
that's kind of got to be the same thing for Southmoore. They're well coached and they've got good athletes.
Great coaching staff. That I know that those guys do a really good job there and really pour into their kids. You can see the effort from their kids, and it's kind of like us in a few ball games, man. If the ball doesn't always bounce your way, and they've had some tough breaks coming in, the ball hasn't always bounced their way, but their kids are still fighting. You can still see, and this is a testament to just the Southmoore coaching staff. Even with a record that's probably not what they would like to have, their kids are still playing really hard, and that says a lot for the men that are leading that program. So it's definitely going to be a battle and a team that we have got to come in and play really good football against on Friday.
Especially you see a team that doesn't have a win yet. It's the coaches can kind of get in that locker room and say like this, this is going to be the week because this can turn around.
No question, they're hungry and listen, we've got to be just as hungry, going into the football game and just as prepared and ready to go play good football.
Yep. All right. Well, Coach, what are you looking for on offense, defense? What are we looking for as Southmoore comes in?
Yeah, they've shown a lot of different looks on film. It's in terms of their defensive alignment. So we've got to be disciplined with our eyes, especially up front, looking at the box, seeing what's in front of us. Quarterback Hayden's got to have a great night with his eyes, just kind of surveying the field, seeing where that flat defender is, looking at the middle of the field, finding those safeties. It's got to be about discipline for us on offense on Friday night in recognizing what's in front of us and then just doing our job, doing our 111th, executing the play that's been called. Defensively, listen, we again got to play sound football. I don't want to give too much of our game plan away because I know we play this in pregame, but we've got to be great tacklers, know where that running back is, and then be able to hopefully put some pressure on the quarterback and play well in our secondary, force him to throw the ball a little bit before he wants to.
All right. Well, you had coach's show, and then Wednesday got another coach's show at Mazzio's.
Yeah, absolutely. This week at Mazzio's, I believe our band is coming. We've invited the band to come and join us, and it was a really cool experience. Our football team on Saturday got to go and watch the band perform. The band, man, it was a huge event at our field, and they did a really good job of running that. The band, their booster club, their parents, obviously our band directors did just a phenomenal job. Mr. Edgman does such a great job with our band, and our football team was able to sit in the bleachers and just kind of support them, cheer for them as they did their performance, which is phenomenal, by the way. My wife and I actually came back and watched it at 10 o'clock was the final performance of the night. We watched it again. They were in their uniforms, and my little boys are in preschool, and I've got a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old, and they love dinosaurs. So the band does the great thing with the dinosaurs, and their performance is really, really entertaining, and they do a great job. So I'm looking forward to having Mr. Edgman on with us on Wednesday night and kind of unifying the football team and the band will be there together. It should be a pretty cool night. So definitely a great time to come and check out the Coaches Show live at Mazzio's. Be a buffet there and come and join us that night. It'll be a lot of fun.
Now, I will say my 4-year-old came up to the booth at halftime and watched the show and kind of watched what I did, and he kept saying, like, what are the dinosaurs doing? What are the dinosaurs doing down? Like, I don't know at this point, but it's fun to watch.
Oh,
so
yeah,
he didn't want to leave. He didn't want the dinosaurs to leave. I was like, well, the football players have to come on and play the second half. So, all right, well, let's go to Bronco Alley. That's a huge thing.
Thing.
Every week, like my wife and kid get there. They have a good time, like everybody that approaches it. And it's a great thing for the school.
Man, it is one of the best pregame experiences, I think, in the state of Oklahoma, maybe in the country. Happens right here in Mustang before the games on Friday night with our Bronco Alley. There's vendors there, a ton of students, parents, fans that are able to walk through there. It's really just a neat thing. Show up early, come check out the festivities in the pregame, and then stick around and cheer on your Broncos as we take the field on Friday night. We need our fans to be loud and proud, make some noise when we're on defense, and then golf clap is fine when we're on offense. Keep that thing rolling.
Exactly. There's certain times where it's getting down like a 3rd down and 1, and Hayden's getting under center. I'm like, okay, I can't say get behind everybody now, because the fans have done a great job this year.
They have,
when it's
man.
4th down, 3rd down, and long, I mean, they are right in it.
Our attendance has been spectacular, and it is just so cool. And listen, that's something that schools like a Tulsa Union that might have a mall and all those nice. That's something that they don't have. Is just a community of people that on Friday night are there supporting their kids and just taking a ton of pride in their community and proud of the name that we wear on the front of our jersey, which is Mustang.
Yep, I love to see it, and I just love everything that goes into Friday nights. Well, guys,
Pretty
get
special.
out there, just like Coach said, 7 o'clock, kickoff against Southmoore. Get here early for Bronco Alley, and then stay for the festivities.
Yeah.
So, all right, Coach, well, thanks a lot. Good luck.
Thanks, man.
Can't wait
Great
to
to
see
be
you
on.
this Friday. All right. Well, you guys have a great week. We'll see you next week as we get back on the wing track. All right. Have a good day.